Hi guys, and today we are going to be looking at the all-new Hornby tooled Princess Royal class. This was announced in the 2019 range, and they've only just come out this one in the experimental blue, and this one is number 46206, Princess Marie Louise. This locomotive has some hidden features which I'll show you in the video. Here is some model information on the LMS Princess Royal class. Triang have done a Princess Royal for several years, as early back as 1955, all the way up until 2020. In 2019, Hornby announced they would retool the Princess Royal class, long overdue. For designers, the Princess Royal class project began towards the end of March 2018, with the initial design work concluding during August 2018. It took up to 570 hours of design time. The Princess was not a quick project, needing a great deal of time and careful attention to the design of the locomotive. The year before that, did the Coronation class. They retooled that as well, along with the Duchess. In 2000, they retooled it again, and I think in the 80s or 90s, they retooled it again before that. They have done many packs of a Princess Royal. They did a Triang special one to celebrate 50 years of the catalogue, and that was with Princess Elizabeth. Sadly, I can't seem to find any information in Engage, but I'm sure you can bash kit one if you really wanted a Princess Royal class. In O, the only one I can find so far is the Golden Age models. They do all of your kits for it, all the locos, you name it, in every livery, skies, they do it, they're the people for you. First, we'll start off at the detail bag. We have the wheel for the rear bogie, if you want to make it into a display locomotive or run it on a straight or less tight curves. Just there. We also have some cylinder drains, I think they are. We also have the brake rigging for the locomotive itself, because the tender one already has it. We also have front coupling for the locomotive at the front, or a spare one for the back, depending on your preference. And we also have, looks like 2 steps to go on the locomotive via the front bogie as well. As we look at the front of the locomotive, you can see a fine handrail above the number of the locomotive, which is 46206. We also have a shed code as well, and a smoke box dart. The shed code will appear on screen what it is. I can't read it from here. We also have 3 lamp irons. The stair, we have one above it on the smoke box door there too. We also have some rivets as well, quite a lot of rivets around here. 2 handles either side as well. We have a hook, vacuum pipe. We have buffers that are metal. We also have the tension lock coupling there. And we also have these stuff either side, which are to remove stones off the line. As we move on to the side of the locomotive, we'll start down in the cab area here. We have the lining, which is white and black, and white again. We also have the number, and we also have the PAV classification over here. We also have some moulded pipes down here, which are plastic. The pony truck here does not move. It's the new Hornby style. We have some lovely sandpipes down here. We also have the motion, which is quite nice by Hornby. Every year it gets better by them. We have some lining on the cylinders as well. We also have some gold parts all the way through the locomotive, which is correct. We have sprung buffers too, which I've already mentioned. This version looks like a superheater on top. We have fine handrails and pipes all across the boiler. We have washout plugs here, just along here too. We have a reversing rod, just there. We also have the name of the locomotive, which is set on some lovely lined splashes. And this is Princess Marie Louise, I believe. It's very nice. On to the other side of the locomotive. There is not much difference, if I'm honest with you. There's no reversing rod around here at all. We do have some rivets though, going down from the dome of the locomotive. Also some rivets where the black starts on the boiler as well. As we look underneath of the locomotive, it's a modern day Hornby one, which you expect a lot of things. The front bow gear pivots side to side to help it go around corners. The 6 driving wheels are pickups. I think this one might have pickups as well. You also see the screw there that helps to get the keep the tender and loco together. Pretty nice stuff there by Hornby. You can see the sanding pipes too. As we look at the loco from the top, the chimney is all the way through. You can go all the way through that. It's hollow, I believe that's the right word. You have some rivets around the cement box here. We also have some rivets on the dome, which you can't see from the side really. The safety valve is metal. The whistles are plastic. You can also see the shields on the windows of the cab as well. We have a vent, they do move. They also open as well. There's no mould line, which is nice to see from Hornby, and the lining on top is pretty crisp as well. As we move on to the cab, it's all painted. The cab windows are glazed as well. You can see the lining and the rivets a bit more better around here. All the detail is finely painted. We also have a doors, I believe they are, to stop the loco driver and fireman falling out the loco. On both sides, this is correct. And we also have a flickering firebox as well. On the underneath of the tender, you can see the plug, which all modern Hornby tender locomotives have. You can see the scoop as well, water scoop, that is. You can see the brake rigging that's already been added by Hornby. The NEM pocket, the NEM type coupling as well. Sprung woofers. All of the 6 tender wheels have pickups as well. As we move on to the top of the tender, the coal load on the tender is pretty nice and pretty thin. There is something under there. It's the coal pusher of the locomotive. Nice touch there by Hornby. Also we have a water cap just there. We also have 2 lamp irons, I would say they are, but not exactly lamp irons. You can see the delivery of the experimental blue too. On the tender sides now, as you can see, we have the early emblem from BR. We also have the lining, which is white, black, white. Tamper printing is pretty nice on this locomotive and tender. We also have some steps either side of the tender. We also have handrails either side too, to help them get up and down the steps. And the riveting is pretty nice too for this locomotive. As we move on to the back of the tender, we'll start down the bottom here. The buffer beams is rivets, it's red as well, have rivets on. You also have the vacuum pipe, you also have the small hook in the centre there. You also have the coupling too. On the back of the tender itself, you have 3 plaques. I think one is the type of tender, the one is the builder's plate, and the one I'm not too sure about. You also have 3 steps either side of the locomotive, of the tender. You also have looks like 2 to 3 lamp irons, from what I see. You also have handrails either side of the tender, and we also have them 2 sticky up points just there, which I mentioned earlier as well. So yeah guys, that's it on the track. Next will be points test and hopefully second radius. So let's see how it gets on. Not bad, just past 9 o'clock, but then again it has got pickups on tender as well. It managed that pretty well. Next up is slow speed, and I will try and find it a friend. So let's see how it gets on. Remember, this is on DC. Oh, that is good. Slow it down a bit. It's not bad. So yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. This is going to be my opinion. Before I give you my opinion, I'm going to show you what was on the track, if you didn't already see it. We have the Hornby Railroad J83 over there with a guard span in the sidings, something different. Slowly pan around. And over there, the far back there, is the Oxford N7. And it's wartime grey, I believe. Then in the shed, just there, we have the Bachmann C-Class. This is the old version. And its running partner was the Hornby 36 or 30, I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I think it's 36. On a goods train. Please remember, this is only my opinion on this locomotive. You may disagree or not. The flickering firebox is a good thing, but is it a gimmick? Is my question. Yes, I know Bachmann are doing it. I get that, and others. Just that the cab's quite enclosed. You have to get really far down, and the cab has to swing out to see it. Surely it'd be better featured on something with a smaller tender like the J38, 36, and the C-Class and the Drummond 700, for example. It's the same with sprung buffers. Are they a gimmick? I don't know. Failing that, my only other criticism that I had are these roof vents are a little flimsy, easily break. Same with these handles. This is my second Locomotive. The other one I had to go back because the handles were snapped and bent on both sides of the tender, and also they were broken. I fixed them, but this one's in better nick. No issues as such. Would I recommend one? Yeah. The Hornby new Princess is pretty nice. The old one wasn't too bad, if I'm honest. It had a feature that I love, which was the rear pony truck swinging. I like that. Doesn't look so strange when it goes around corners. There's a preserved one. There's a Princess Liz, and I think there's a Princess Rose. I think there's two preserved, and Hornby done both, I believe. So there's there for preserved people, and there's there for people who collect LMS. Would I? Is it a great price? I don't know. I'm unsure what the firebox brings, what price that would hike it up at. If it didn't have the flickering firebox, would it be less price? Also, to get it really bright, you have to run it at fast speed. Slow speed, if you've seen the dark clip that I should have put up, it was slow speed and it's quite dull. So yeah, it's only my opinion, but it's still a good Locomotive. I'm just unsure about the features. Before I go, the coal shovel mechanism moulding in the tender is a lovely touch too. Anyway guys, sorry about this video, it's a bit of a rant, but until next time, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from these geekers.